Hey, we got a good one for y'all. We got Bronny, Steven Jackson, Austin Rivers. Steven Jackson going at Austin Rivers for giving his opinion on what he believes Bronny should do when it comes to playing with his pops. If you haven't, make sure you like, subscribe, tell friends, family, and everybody about listening to the DP podcast. Go find us on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. We everywhere. But check this out. I personally think I didn't have a problem with what Austin Rivers said. And I don't know how much of it that you got to watch. But when I went back, I actually watched his whole monologue on it. He said he thinks Bronny should not play with LeBron for a simple fact. Is if you go play with LeBron, they're going to say you're only here because of your pops. They're already saying you got to USC because of your pops. Now they're definitely going to say you're with whatever team you're on because of your pops. And Austin Rivers made a good point. If Bronny was balling, that's one thing. He's averaging like 4 or 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. So therefore, it could literally only be one thing because of your pops. It's true.
Facts. Yeah.
Right? He's like, if he was, like an actual top-rated guy, and it's like, bro, his work speaks for itself. He speaks for himself on the court. But right now, we're not saying he can't get there. But if at the end of this year, mind you, this isn't a Duke team that's going to a Final Four or a Kentucky team back in the day. This is like a 500 USC team. I haven't looked at their record in a while, but they've lost to like
not playing too well.
So he said, regardless of what they're doing at USC or even Bronny, it just brings more pressure to you. It brings more hate to you, and you'll always be little Bronny, right? You don't get to just be, oh, that's Bronny and he hoops. That's going to be LeBron James son because you're going to be playing with your pops. So I had no problem actually hearing him say that because my pops wanted my brother to go to the same school as me. When we was at KU, everybody wanted him there except for the head coach. He ended up going and playing at El Paso and at UTEP. And my pops was like, you know what? That wasn't a bad thing because now he gets to be Devin. And he's not Damon's brother no more.
Thanks.
Oh, that's Damon's little brother. Right? You don't want to be that when you're in college.
Yeah,
so Bronny's trying to carve out an NBA career. He's only 18, maybe 19, depending on his birthday now. You don't want to be 20, 21, 22, or probably maybe 20 and 21, depending on how LeBron, how long he was in the league with him. But you want to be Bronny James and say, I did this because I got here. Of course I can get there if my pops make a call. You ain't got to draft me. Pops make a call, I'm on the bench. I'm on the team that we can get this done. But I know that it would suck to have worked so hard because I think Bronny's a good basketball player. He just has to get better.
Yeah.
But to work so hard and put yourself in a position to where everybody just automatically off rip discredits you. I know Bronny ended up getting to the number 9 recruit, I believe, in the nation, which I think that was LeBron James hype, right? It wasn't like he was. I know guys that's averaging 35 in high school and 35, 10, and 8, and they ranked number 30. So let alone what Bronny was doing, I don't think he was deserving of the number 9. I think he could be a very good player at USC, very good. Could be literally 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. Like, at college, they're not scoring 20 points a game.
Yeah,
most guys, even the good guys. But my problem was, I think, with Steven Jackson. He came in, mind you, if he didn't watch it all, he should have before saying what he said. But I don't think Austin Rivers said nothing wrong. But Steven Jackson jumps on there and says, your daddy ain't LeBron James. First of all, we ain't going to act like Doc Rivers ain't a coach that been around this league for a long, long time. 1. Right? 2, and then he's like, your daddy ain't LeBron James, so that don't matter. 2, you a scrub. You don't stack up against Bronny. You do realize the man that you talking to was the number 1 recruit in high school.
Yeah.
You do realize he was on some of the rankings only as low as number 3. He was 1, 2, or 3, depending on the rankings. He was a 15-point scorer at Duke. He won big games. He made big plays at Duke. You do realize he was the number 10 pick of the draft. How are you talking about this man don't stack up to Bronny when Bronny is definitely not close to the number 1? And once again, we go back to number 9.
Yeah.
That's inflated. Right now, Bronny is struggling to find his way. Austin went straight into Duke getting busy. and then went
Yeah,
top
that's
10.
true.
So I'm like, Steven Jackson, what are you even talking about? I I was on a movement with All the Smoke for a little bit because I liked what they were doing, but I feel like Steven Jackson been doing a lot of hating lately. Um,
Yeah,
he
for
was going
sure.
back and forth with Shannon. Him and Shannon Sharp was going back and forth, and Shannon called him out. Now Austin Rivers, I feel like anybody that kind of started getting that spotlight because Steven Jackson and them did it first. Like
Yeah.
they were like the first, NBA guys doing it. Now all these other athletes are getting bigger and bigger. I feel like every time somebody starts to catch a wave, Steven Jackson starts to hate on them.
Yeah,
How do you
try to
feel
get some
about
of
the
that
whole
clout.
situation of from what Austin Rivers said to what Steven Jackson replied back to Austin Rivers?
Yeah, man. So as far as with Bronny, I mean, hey, with Bronny, he is LeBron James' son, so it just comes with that stigma, like, hey, your stuff is gonna be handed to you because I mean, your dad is one of the all
It's
time
only right.
greats
It's no different than Deion's sons. They're
for
good,
sure.
but you're going to get a little extra. Like I believe Shador. Well, I don't believe. I know for a fact Shador performs at a way higher level than Bronny. But there's going to be
Facts.
some more commercials that come with being Deion's son.
For sure. But then also, I think with Bronny, he had that heart issue,
Mm-hmm.
prior to the season. So that's that could be a reason why he's not producing as much. Maybe he's slowly taking it there because maybe he's playing scared. Because I mean that is, a heart condition is scary. So I think that could be something as to why his level of production is not as high as what most people expected. But as far as Austin Rivers, I mean, I understand he was coming with with his own thought process on it and everything. But I just feel like you know you should know that that's going to stir the pot with some other players, like it did with Steven Jackson. And that's just a fact that I guess you get, like you said, with Steven. Like when he comes in, he's actually like you said, he's trying to clout chase off other people when they start building any type of uh, following, or if they if something goes viral for them, he's like, hey, let me jump on this train real quick, get my little spill off. But I mean, he should have known. Austin Rivers should have known somebody was going to say something because I mean, you talking about Bronny and LeBron, so not really like talking down. I mean, I felt like it was kind of like, hey, you coming for this young man. You ain't really even seen him play in college yet. It's his freshman year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would think just reserve, be a little bit more reserved with your actual thoughts until you actually see him like
And to be
play.
honest, from my perspective, I don't think he said anything. I think he mentioned a couple of times that he believes Bronny would be good. I seen it from a perspective of he said he had to deal with that. Mind you, I was the number one recruit in high school. I went to Duke, got busy, and I was the top 10 pick. And by the time he got to his dad's team, he had already been in the league, and it was
Facts.
still the only reason why you're in the league is because your dad's the coach. So I felt more of it was like, bro, I went through this, and they was hating on me, and I was actually that guy coming
Yeah,
out of high school and college. So I can only imagine, and I don't want you to go through that because, like you said, and it's real. You gotta say it. If you was balling, they're still gonna hate. But with
yeah,
what you're currently doing, anybody with sense only can come to the conclusion because of LeBron. You're here. So from my perspective, I didn't think it was too bad of what he was saying because once again, I'm not I'm not the guy that never had a dad in the league. My dad was
yeah.
the coach. I played for
Facts.
him. And they hated on me when I was with my dad while I had all these accolades. So I don't have a problem with it. I think Austin Rivers just being new, like there's no problem with anything. You just gotta know it's gonna come with it. And a lot of the fans jumped
Yeah,
on Steven Jackson like hard. Like, nah, bro, what are you talking about? Like, because mind you, Austin Rivers wasn't an all-star player in the NBA.
yeah,
But they literally went back. It's like, how are you saying Bronny's better than him when he was the number one guy? And mind you, Austin Rivers is also like 2, 6. He
yeah,
ain't tall, so it wasn't like he was just some brute. Like, so he was getting busy to be the top guy.
yeah. For
So
for sure.
and I'll tell you what, I don't think it's the heart condition with Bronny how he plays. I watched Bronny play,
Uh-huh.
um, out here at Hoop Fest, and when he was a freshman in high school, and he played the same way as he's playing now. Bronny's not a guy that's super aggressive. He's a guy that plays the game like his dad in the right way. If it's there, I'm gonna take it. If it's not, I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna make a good play. I'm gonna make great passes. And as he gets comfortable, he gets a little more assertive. So I
Yeah.
didn't expect much from him because I watched his transition through high school. He never was a guy jacking up 25 shots. College guys, if you outside of like a Jimmer Fredette, JJ Redick,
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, you're not shooting the ball 20 times in college.
No, no,
High
no.
school, you will. So I think Bronny is just going to do another natural progression unless LeBron says, "Nah, bro,
Cool.
I got to get you up here because I got to get up out this league here soon, and
Yeah.
we want to make that going." But I didn't see too much wrong with what Austin said, especially since he's literally been in those shoes at a high level, and people still was making it seem as if he wasn't a McDonald's All-American and was
Yeah.
balling at Duke.
That's facts, bro. I mean, hey, Austin Rivers, hey, cold. So I mean, just to like, and I get what you're saying. Like from my perspective of everything, I thought it was some type of shade he was throwing at like Bronny, like kind of like undertone type
Yeah,
stuff. But no, as just sitting here speaking with you about it now, it's like okay, yeah, that does kind of make sense. If I bring it back and like really think about what he's saying, is he's coming more from by for like a hey, I'm trying to be like here's some big bro advice type situation versus trying to actually talk down on him. So now I definitely understand that now. But yeah, I mean we gotta talk about Steven, man. Hey, he just be ready. He be on one for everybody. Anytime something come out, he just on it.
and it sucks because, like I said, I like what they're doing. I like what he was, trying to stand for with the George Floyd and all that. But
Facts.
when you really sit back, though, like you do realize, like I think Steven Jackson realizes that Matt Barnes is what makes the show go. As far
Yeah.
as probably, hey, this is the guest we're getting. Where he probably does more of the back end stuff. As far as, hey, we're going to set it up like this. Here's a lot of the questions. And Steven Jackson is more of the hot take guy. Oh, I'm gonna do some stuff on social media, keep us hot and rolling. Matt Barnes used to be the hot head. Steven Jackson, obviously, he was always
Yeah.
ready to go. But I think that comes out a lot with just him being maybe insecure about really his role in seeing Shannon take off.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers, articulate young guy that's on actually what I think he's on ESPN. He he can probably see Austin's trajectory, Shannon's trajectory, right? And I feel like any time, like we said, somebody's doing something good, it kind of comes back to himself of being like, dang, I'm losing my spot because we was number one. And
Yeah.
he knows if you had to do a debate, Austin Rivers and Steven Jackson talking to each other across the table, he ain't gonna be able to talk with Austin Rivers.
Facts.
If even
Facts.
him in his country as Uncle Shay is, he ain't gonna be able to talk back and
Yeah,
forth with Shannon.
yeah, for sure. No,
Steven
and
is a
then
cool dude, but I think it comes back to that a lot with him because some of the things he be saying, you be like, what are you talking about, bro?
yeah, facts, facts. I mean, and the good, like you were saying, the good thing is what Austin Rivers is like, what 31, so he has a better trajectory, in the actual like podcast type world. Because I mean, he has, I mean, to be honest, Steven Jackson has, older people, even our age, but Austin Rivers, even he probably has as young as teenagers to old people. So it's just a trajectory that he's on. Like that plane he on is gonna be better than Steven Jackson's. And like you said, Steven Jackson just realizing like, hey man, like like hey, the show is not such a hit anymore because like you said, Shannon, you got
The pivot.
Austin Rivers, yeah. So he got to do something to keep, I guess, to keep their names in everybody's mouths. So that's, I mean, it's good publicity because you know what they say, any publicity, bad or good is good publicity. So I mean, he's getting his name, he's putting his name out there to stay relevant.
Facts, facts. Like I said, I think it just comes back to all the smoke had all the smoke at the beginning, and now
Yeah,
you got I Am Athlete came out, but then they went to the pivot, and then now you got Shannon. Then you got a lot more guys in that space, and I feel like he sees that light that they had shrinking. Like when I look, even think about it. Do you follow like Jeff Teague and them's podcast and like 520, whatever it is, Gil's Arena? I feel like when I go online and just randomly, I'm not on their pages. When I just randomly scroll and I see basketball podcasts, I see Jeff Teague's 520 in them. I think that's what it is. I see Gil's Arena always popping up. I don't see much of All the Smoke when it's just random, scrolls up and down the timeline. I see a lot of other basketball guys in that space outside of them. Even Pat Beverly stuff, I'm seeing for whatever reason a lot more than All the Smoke. And that don't mean that they're not still bigger, but you know what the numbers were and what they look like, and if other guys is closing that, and I think sometimes that's what happens with him.
Yeah, I think it's just his podcast is becoming less popular because there are people have more options now versus when he first started, everybody it was the new hype. So, but now since everybody really getting everything up and running, people start picking and choosing there, and they ain't winning on that level anymore.
Facts. No, we could go on forever about some of the things that he's done or said, and even other people in the podcast world. But we'll get back to that when we get back with the crew tomorrow. But yeah, man, appreciate you for jumping on. Like I said, if y'all haven't liked, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We on Facebook, we on X, we on the Raw Power Team Facebook page and the personal page. So yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out.